All right, so let's put this into action. I'm going to now change. I'm going to now show you how I can change this multiplication with the decimal value, exponential value of 18, and I'm going to override this decimal function. So let's see that in action. So what I'm going to do is, I'm simply going to copy this from here. I'll go back to my Remix IDE, and I'm going to override this function. All right, so I have pasted this function over here, and it's definitely flagging me an error, and the error is that you're missing an override specifier. So I am going to override this. All right, so now that error is gone, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to now return 1. All right, so I'm going to now make this decimal, force this decimal function to return a 1. Now, what impact this has on my calculation? So let's just do it right now. So I'm just going to add a page over here. So what's going to happen is that now that I've replaced it with 1, and I'm going to add, let's say, 24 zeros. So this 24 would be multiplied with 10 to the power minus 1. What would be the answer? So if you've done the math right, you should get 23 trailing zeros. Now let's put that into action. So what I'm going to do is, I'm simply now going to go back to my Remix IDE, and I'm going to compile this contract, and this time I will give it (24 zeros), and I have returned 1, which essentially would multiply it to 10 to the power minus 1, and I will deploy my contract. So let me just copy this, because then it would disappear. So I will change the code to ZLK, and I will call it now Zlock, and I will put this number back over here, and I will deploy this. So the moment I hit deploy, I will confirm the transaction. And once the transaction is confirmed, it's pending. So we will wait a little. It's still pending. All right, so the transaction is confirmed. I will pick up my contract address from here. I will go back to MetaMask, and I'm now going to import these ZLK tokens. So I will go to tokens. I've imported so many tokens. I'll go to tokens, I'll click on import token, and I'll say ZLK. So it automatically picks up. Now notice that earlier this was 18, and now this is 1, and this is where the 1 is coming from. So I've essentially overridden the decimal function, and that's where the 1 is coming from. Now I'll click on next, and now you see that this is what the result basically looks like. So I've got 10 to the power 24, which essentially was 24 zeros, times 10 to the power minus 1, and this is what the mathematical calculation results. So I've essentially got this many ZLK tokens. So I'll import this, and if you go over here, this is essentially the number of ZLK tokens you have now in your MetaMask wallet.